Hello, here's an update. I don't remember when my last one of these was. And things were going very, very, very good for a long time. Didn't struggle, didn't really struggle too much with pornography, and I haven't watched any pornography since last year. Uh, where do I start? This is going to be a long video. Okay. Well, hello. I've been struggling recently for a bunch of reasons. Not the least of which being my relationship with the Lord. Just don't feel like I'm spending enough time with Him. I don't know why. I do in some ways, but objectively it just seems dumb that I haven't been doing the one thing that I know that I really should do, that I really want to do. Um, yeah, so recently, a few months ago, I was doing very well because I discovered something about humanity, about what makes people people, and it was something that I had already known about, but not in this way. It was about the human spirit, how it can be. It's like our most important aspect. We're made spirit, soul, and body in that order. And I discovered how wonderful it is to know the Lord in spirit and in truth, and to progress into His inheritances that He has for our spiritual selves. To act and live and have our being through the Spirit, through the Holy Spirit who works through our spirits, who will influence the rest of our lives. And it was great for a few months there. Like, felt like we could conquer the world and, still have some room left over. At some point, there were some tests, and I feel like I failed. And at some point, I made some bad decisions, which caused me, the soul, to really hurt my spirit portion and to wrench control back again. And it's sort of been going downhill from there. For a while, during all that, when I was living in spirit, and I wasn't eating sugar, I wasn't watching any media. I was just like pursuing the Lord with all my heart. What changed? This is going to be a very introspective video. I'm not really talking to anyone specific right now. I don't have any main points to talk about. I just want to figure it out. There's a few reasons I'm struggling right now. It's not only that, but obviously there's paperwork. I took on more work, and caused me to get really behind in paperwork, and really, really behind. And it feels like a mountain that's like insurpassable, sort of, right now. I've been talking to a friend who I thought had rejected me, and we got closer again. And we went on a few dates. And then she got cancer. Another brain tumor, which she had fought off years earlier. It came back again. Right when we started dating. Came back. And it puts things into perspective. Every moment is precious and so important. I've been wasting so much of my time. I've been watching all sorts of crap. All sorts of YouTube, all sorts of anime and TV shows. And I haven't even wanted to do it. It's been like something's being sucked out of me. Like my vitality's being drained, and I'm trapped. That's what it feels like. In a loop, in a cycle, makes me wonder, maybe this is, I'm sure a lot of it's my fault, but I'm sure that there's a lot of warfare that's been going on. It's been causing me to be in this more depressive state, but I had plans. I wanted to start a business. I wanted to go on and do something very impactful. I ended up just doing more of my job. Just kept going into that same cycle over and over again. Same old, that same pattern every week, every day, every month. The more that I just do that cycle, the more I realize, like, man, it really feels pointless in a lot of ways. I've been doing all this work and making money and whatever, and it doesn't feel like I'm doing it for anything. Like, sure, there's eventual future goals that I could maybe go towards, but really, I've never been motivated by future safety or by ensuring my own retirement or anything like that. It's never been anything close to my motivation. motivations have never been to have an easier life. Or even to be rich for my own satisfaction. If anything, money is a means to an end. I want to make an impact. I want to make a difference. I want to be a father. I want to be a husband. I want to be a good steward of the resources that have been given to me. To show that I'm a good servant of the Lord. To show that I'm to have done good. To have aimed for the highest goals. To do that which the Lord has set me on this earth to do. I feel myself slipping away over. I don't like it. When I think about it, it's honestly scary and difficult. And I've got all these looming immediate problems that I really don't want to even tackle. Feels like, what's the point of making more money? What's the point of just living a life? I don't want to just live a life, I want to live a life worth living. Even that is scary. Because now suddenly everything means something. Every moment is important. Every bit of time wasted is a second lost, is something that could have been spent doing something better. Suddenly everything matters. And the pressure's on. And in some ways, it almost makes you want to hide. And so you ignore it. You push it down and you bury yourself in endless videos and social media and junk. All this junk. All this addictive junk that just shoves itself down your throat. This self-masturbatory junk. And you're trapped in that because it's scary to forge ahead into a purpose-driven life. But it's so much worse. It's fading away into nothingness So why haven't I been spending time with God? Why is it so much easier when I'm with other people? Why is it that when I get back home, that everything in my body is screaming to not do the work that I need to do? Everything in my body is saying hide. And of course, why am I listening to my body? I mean, Romans 8 is very clear about listening to the flesh. It's death. Listening to the Spirit's life and peace. Why am I hiding from relationship, from the greatest cure in medicine? It doesn't make sense. It's painful. That's one thing that does make sense, I guess. It's been very painful when I have been in the presence. It feels like stuff being burned away in all sorts of different places. It's hard to see the results. Every time that I go into the presence, it's like something else is burned away. And it's hard to immediately see the results. So I've been struggling. These last few months have been a bit of a struggle. There's a lot that's going on in my mind. Not very many answers. Or maybe there is, and I'm just not strong enough to take hold of it. That doesn't make sense. Maybe I've been holding on too hard. Maybe the real problem is that voice in my mind that's constantly going, you need to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you have to do that, or else. Maybe I just need to let go. That's very scary. And I don't really know what that looks like. Okay, so all that talking has been my soul. Ready to see something interesting? Jonathan's spirit. I invite you to the surface. Come forward if you'd like. there's been an internal battle for a while now. And oftentimes, when there's interior growth, looks like nothing's changing on the outside. Or when you have to deal with old problems, when you're burning garbage away, it really stinks. And so, old festering wounds will show up again when you try to stitch them back up, and when something broke and healed in a wrong way, you have to break it right back again and set it in place. And so even though it's not nice, doesn't smell good, the garbage is festering and it's burning in a giant heap, a giant trash pile, this stinking, smoky trash pile that's just so disgusting. It's good. And some people have to go in their own rates, in their own speeds. Moses had to be raised in Egypt for 40 years, went out into the desert, stayed there for 40 years before he was ever activated into his calling. Time's a fickle thing, and some people need more time than others. But God, He is able to do things in less time than we think possible. So even if you're in your 50s, or your 60s, or your 70s, and you've been following the Lord, and so far it's been so painful and you haven't seen any fruit, maybe your life will be like Moses. And God will use you greatly because of the time that He trained you for all these years. So do not lose heart. Do not be anxious. Although it may be painful, it is good. It is good. It is good. Catch you all later.